I'm going to show you a few of my favorite games for adults to play together or to play with older kids. Cross Lanes is a fun card game for ages 6 and up that adults really enjoy playing as well. In this card game, you'll have 5 cards in your hand and the goal is to be the first to get rid of them. In order to play, you have to place at a 90-degree angle that is one above or one below the number you're placing it on. So here I can place this 9 over the 8 because it's one above 8 at this 90-degree angle. But the challenge comes in with strikes and spares. If you have a card that you can place over 2 overlapping cards where both numbers are satisfied, in this case the 8 is one below the 9, the 6 is one below the 7, that counts as a spare, in which case the other player to your left has to draw 1 card. And in a strike, if you can place a card over 2 that don't overlap, where it satisfies both, so the 6 over the 5 and the 2 over the 1, then you'll get a strike, and the player to your left and your right have to draw a card. You can also get a gutter ball, in which case you have to draw a card if you're not able to play. Triage is a fun strategy game for ages 12 and up, and in this game the goal is to save as many of your colored people from the natural disasters as possible. Each round has 4 phases. The first 3 phases you roll a die to tell you which disaster site will be impacted. So if I were to roll a 5, I would put an impact level 1 on this disaster site. As we continue on, we get a chance to move our citizens by our bus, our car, and our helicopter to try and get them to the airport to evacuate them from the disasters. If you make it to the triage phase and your citizens are still within 1 space of an impact level 1, they would be injured. If they were within 2 spaces of an impact level 2, they would be injured, and so on and so forth. In Hightail It, the goal is to get all of your kangaroos from this quadrant of the board around the board and back over the river. And you can do that by walking your kangaroos 1 step, such as this, or you can use another kangaroo as a pivot to jump over. So for instance, I could jump here, or I can keep going because I have another pivot, and I can keep going until I no longer have any more pivots to jump over. And the player who gets all 5 of their kangaroos around the board first wins. Crazy Quandaries is one of the games from our Take Your Pick series where you're trying to get to know your players better or just have a good time. In this game, you'll have cards and they'll have 2 options on them, and one player will be the subject and the other players are trying to guess which option they would choose. For instance, would your player rather be lost in the hot desert during the day or be alone in the jungle at night? Have no air conditioning or have no heat? And you want to put them in order that you feel most confident in, because if you guess wrong on one of them, you lose your turn. But as you continue to guess correctly, you get to keep going. Suits of Disguise is a fun card game for ages 10 and up, 2 to 4 players. On each round, you're going to flip out 3 cards that tells you which suits will score points for that round. For this example, the 9, 11, and 12. And you're going to take a turn by drawing from the top of the deck of the discard and adding to your hand and discarding. And at the end of the round, whoever has the most 9s will score 9 points, 11s, 11 points, and so forth. But you also will get penalties for whoever has the least of any suit, including the ones that don't score points. So you want to find a good balance in your hand, and that's Suits of Disguise. Which of these games do you think your family would enjoy playing?